Hello, welcome to part 4 of the video trying to answer the question of what are the coordinate points of the vertices of the triangle X, Y, and Z. So part 4. I was kind of concerned I may have confused some folks, so I'm going to go ahead and I created another page to try to mathematically show you both the translation and the reflection. So I'm just going to jump right in. You know the question. If not, revert back to part 1. If you're not familiar with an X and Y coordinate grid and X and Y ordered pair points, please review my videos. I go over detail how to understand that, and it makes life so much easier for you. Just check out those videos. All right, so we have triangle P, Q, and R. We're asked to first translate each of these points, and translate just means move, right, left, right, up, or down. We're asked to translate 2 units to the right in the positive direction, right? So I'm going to go over that first. We're also asked to translate 2 units down, and I'm going to go over that second. I don't want to go too fast or confuse anybody. So here's the original points, P, Q, and R, X and Y, ordered pairs on a graph. And if I'm going to translate and go 2 units to the right, that's 2 units in a positive direction, or plus 2 for each x value. So 1 plus 2, 3 plus 2, and then 2 plus 2. That gives me my x values translated. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, and 2 plus 2 is 4. Now, P prime, or P1, is just the first time I've messed around with these X and Y coordinate points. That's all that means, right? That's all that means. Now, I want to take a look at the other translation, which is 1 unit moved down is 1 unit in the negative y-axis direction. So I will add a -1 for each y value. And that's what you see me doing here. 2 minus 1, or 2 plus a -1. 3 plus a -1, or 3 minus 1. 4 plus a -1, or 4 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. 4 plus a -1 is 3. So I now have my new coordinate points that have been translated in P1, Q1, and R1. What I'd like to do now is go over, a lot of this is verbal language on how to reflect across the x-axis. Okay, and then I'm going to show you here at the base what it is I'm talking about. So when you're going to reflect across the x-axis, right, that means you're going to count the y values, right? The y values for all your prime, p, q, r values. You're going to count them, right? And how far it takes to reach the x-axis. And since the triangle P prime, Q prime, R prime, that's the translated triangle, the vertices, those points on the triangle, or plot points, is in the first quadrant. If you don't understand that, check out my videos, positive x and y values. So each point contained for y, excuse me, each point containing for y, the plot points on the y towards the x-axis will be negative values, right? So in that triangle, P prime, Q prime, and R prime, every one of the y values I'm showing here will drop. Will drop in a negative direction towards the x-axis. And that's what I'm saying here. Will drop towards the x-axis will be a negative value. X values of the plot points stay exactly the same. So as I can show you here, the x for p prime, the x value for p prime is 3. The x value for the x vertice is 3. The x value for q prime is 5. The x value for y is 5. The x value for r prime is 4. The x value for z is 4. So all of these x values stay the same. The only thing that's going to change are the y values as you count down towards the x-axis. All right, so in order to reflect across the x-axis, you move the y values only the exact number of moves to the x-axis across the x-axis that it took to get there. So for my y value of a positive 1 to get to 0 is a -1 move. So then I take a -1 move across the y-axis, is what I'm showing you here. My y value for q prime at a positive 2, it takes 2 negative moves to get to 0, or the x-axis. So then in order to reflect, I add another -2. For my r prime, my y value is at 3. In order to get to the x-axis, I have to count -3 to get to 0, or the x-axis. So that way, in order to reflect, I have to count another -3. So 1 plus a -1 is 0, plus a -1 is -1. 2 plus a -2 is 0, plus another -2 is -2. 3 plus a -3 gets me to 0, and then I have to count another -3 to reflect that point. Here's your answer for the vertices X, Y, and Z. I'm hoping that this helped to clarify a little bit of my confusion from before. I'd like to create another video that shows you how to draw an X and Y axis and label it all up on scratch paper, just in case they're not going to give you any graphing paper at your location where you take the exam. Thank you for joining me. Math is easy. I'm hoping this clarified some things. Take it step by step. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your likes and follows and sharing these videos to help others. Please help me to bring these videos to you and others by your donations, your stars. Thank you so very much. It's much appreciated.